The thing is about We Will Rock You, it's got all great tunes in it. And they were put together by a group called Queen. Well, this morning for you, we like to get legends on the programme. Brian May, hello.
Hello. Do I count as a legend then? Thank you very much.
Hey, listen, this is one of the greatest thrills of my life. We've met a few times down at that We Will Rock You, and let's just start with that. Thank you for that musical. At a time when we've got no money, we're depressed and want to throw ourselves off the top of a building, that makes us laugh, and it's great tunes. Thank you.
Thank you. That's great to hear. Yeah, we like to make people happy. Send them out smiling and punch in the air. Yes, yes. Yeah, we love it. I guess it's a child, it's like a child, and we care about it.
Well, I was there right at the beginning of that, and I came in and gave it a rave review. Not everybody did, and I think they wanted to bash the fact that you were willing to put your songs into a musical, but the reality is, normal people like you and me actually just want to be entertained. It doesn't have to be Brecht or Harold Pinter, does it?
That's right. No, it's about entertainment, and it's a good feeling. Yeah. I mean, it was a fantastic journey for us as well, a voyage of discovery, if you like, because we'd never done it before. And I think some of those reviews were the product of people who thought, what the hell do they think they are? Why do they think they can make a musical? But, that's kind of what we do. We make music and we entertain people. So it's nice to be able to do that.
If it's okay, we're going to talk to you over the next 4.5 hours about your life and career. Can we start with the Queen days? Because I just want to ask you one question that's always fascinated me, that I always talk to you about. How does it feel to be a sex symbol and B, one of the most popular people in one of the most popular bands in the world ever? Thank you.
Who said that?
I've just said it.
Oh, this is you. I don't think I think of myself as a sex symbol. I do get up some mornings and think, oh my God, how did that happen? Because we were just boys, and it doesn't seem very long ago, with dreams and, big ideas that we can kind of do something that no one's ever done before and sort of go out and conquer the world. But somehow it happened. And everywhere I go, from Mongolia to Timbuktu, people know the songs. It's incredible. I feel very, very fortunate. It is like some kind of dream, really.
And of course, you brought Queen back very recently and did these big arena tours a couple of 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Was it ever the same without Freddie? Because let's face it, he was the voice, wasn't he? And the thing that just made it so magnetic. Or do the tunes still stand up without him?
Well, a bit of both, I suppose. Of course, it's never going to be the same without Freddie, no. And I was very reluctant to even try and go out as Queen, I suppose. But what happened with Paul Rodgers was a sort of an organic growth, and we found ourselves playing with this great singer. And doing things a little different. So suddenly it all seemed worthwhile. We could bring Queen back to life in a slightly different way. So I enjoyed it. We did 2 huge tours with him. I guess at the best moments, it was very much like the old days. We had thousands of people packed in halls, and and we did our stuff. And I think Roger and I probably played better than ever. I think we raised our game pretty good, really, because, you get to know a few things as you get older. You might not be able to run so fast, but you kind of know your trade, But having done that, I can't really see us doing it again at the moment, because who would sing, we did our thing with Paul, but I think that's kind of run its course. So We Will Rock You is a great thing to be able to have. We have young people singing the parts, we have young players, and we can just kind of uncle the whole thing, and it's a good feeling that the music lives on, and it's not a fossil, things change. And
I know I shouldn't be biased because this is the BBC, but I've seen that show 5 million times with various casts, and I'll tell you who's my favourite person in that, is that Maz Murray. I just think she's a phenomenal performer. I know she's off at them, and she's just had a baby, hasn't she?
She's just had a baby, bless her. Yes, a little boy.
Shall we see how she's doing? Maz Murray, good morning.
Good morning, boss.
Maz! What a lovely surprise.
Oh, hello, gorgeous men.
How you doing, love?
I'm doing okay, actually. Isn't this weird that for the first time I'm keeping my voice down because I've got a sleeping little bunny next to me?
Oh.
And we all know you've got the biggest gob in show business, haven't you?
And I was talking about my husband, actually. Missing the show terribly and missing my mates terribly, but it's all good, and it's one of those things, and everybody's done it. And I'll have to just get over the pain.
Oh, dear. Are you all right? Are things good?
I'm all right.
It's a little different for me. I'm doing stereoscopic things instead of music things at the moment.
Did you know he was into all of this, Maz?
I've got the book.
Have you?
Yeah, Maz knows.
I'm like one of his PAs. I'm the head of his marketing campaign. Everybody comes around to see the baby, and I just put the book in front of them and go, but have you seen this?
How does it feel when you're stood there singing songs that Queen did all those years ago and Brian's in the audience watching you do it?
As terrifying the first time I ever sang for them. And I've been singing them for 9 years, and it never gets any easier. And Brian will back me up on this, because the minute I see him backstage, I go, oh, not today! It's just as you get in the swing of thinking, okay, I can relax today, this is just another show, in walk Queen, and you go, oh, poo. The thing is that they are magnificent and they're untouchable, and their songs are pretty difficult songs to sing, done correctly. Mm-hmm. And we are so respectful of their music and of their ability and of their opinion that when they're in, you are immediately aware of what you're doing, and that is sometimes the kiss of death, because the minute you start thinking about them, Brian will back me up on this, the minute you start thinking about what you're doing, you have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, you can have a terrible moment. Well, I've had it myself, because I occasionally do play in the show, on special occasions, and I had one of those moments, and Maz was there, she'll tell you, and I came up being a rock god hero in Bohemian Rhapsody, and thought, where am I? What am I doing? Because something had gone wrong. I think there was too much smoke, and the lift didn't work or whatever, and suddenly I was just playing rubbish. It's a horrible feeling.
It was eclectic jazz.
Yes. Listen, get back in this We Will Rock You, because we need you, and I love you very much, and good luck with the baby.
Yeah, we miss you.
Love you both, and have the most wonderful time. Oop news.
Thank you very much, Maz Murray, a great star in the West End. And that's really what you looked for with this show, wasn't it? You needed people who could take on these mammoth songs. Yeah. How much rehearsal do you do when you go back and do those Queen songs now? Because, your stuff is really intricate. I remember you stood on the top of Buckingham Palace once doing that big thing for the Queen. It can't be easy, can it?
No, that was a moment of pure... what's the word? Terror management, because that was a tough one, yeah, and I will never do that again. I think I was lucky to get away with it once. I don't think I'd tempt fate, but yeah, it's not that you're going to fall off the roof, it's the fact that you could look the biggest idiot in history if you mess up on the top of the roof with 5 billion people watching you. Yeah, that was a big one for me.
You've got this exhibition. What is it?
It's, there are two things, really. We've got an exhibition which we're opening in the smallest gallery in the world. It's called the Gallery on the Green, and it's a phone box. And you might laugh, but this has become really a big thing with the people here, and it's a way of distilling an exhibition into a very small space, and it's a very intimate experience. There's obviously only one person can go in there at a time, but it's been really hugely successful, and it lends itself perfectly to what we do, because my thing, along with Elena Vidal, my co-author, is stereoscopic photography. So really you're just one person with one viewer looking at one view, and it's a very very close and intimate experience. So it's perfect for us. We have this exhibition of cards, so you'll be able to go in there and it's just you walking back into the 1850s through this virtual window, and you feel like you could almost talk to the people there. It's a great experience, I think. So that's what we're doing this morning, opening that exhibition, and then we do our show in the evening, and our show is 3D projection and a lecture.
Was it really Weetabix and those little things we got free that got you into all of this as a kid?
It was, yes. I found that magical. You found this little card in your cereal packet, and it had 2 little flat pictures in, and then you would send off for your viewer for 1 and 6pence and pop the card in the viewer, and suddenly the magic happened, and instead of a flat picture, you had a 3D picture which you felt you could really walk into. So I was hooked, and from that moment on, I could never understand why people would bother with normal flat photography when they could do stereo photography.
And in terms of who's interested in this, what kind of reaction have you had?
Well, good reaction. Yeah, people... there's a lot of oohs and ahs, which is what we like, really. It's not a rock show, but it is kind of dramatic, because we, in a sense, we bring T.R. Williams to life, who's the original photographer, and he's a bit of a hero of mine. And I think people feel like he's kind of in the room, and they get a glimpse into what 1850s life really was like in this tiny little village that we're portraying. It's a different kind of pace to life, and kind of a spiritual feeling about the way man relates to nature, which is very much in line with a lot of what I do these days. A lot of my time these days is spent on trying to make sure that animals are treated with respect and not abused. So that's become another real dimension of my life, and it kind of fits with this.
And what do you love more, then? You're going to hate this question. Music or art? What turns you on the most?
Well, music is art, of course. You know, it all links up. I've always spent as much time in recent times on Photoshop as I have in Pro Tools. You know, so both to me, the visual image as well as the sound image, if you like, excite me. And if you have both, you have a very, very powerful medium, which is what the movies is. You know, you go and see Avatar, and it's all about vision, but it's all about sound as well. And if the two are perfect, then you get this wonderful, enveloping experience. So all of it, really. So I'm not answering the question. Sorry, mate.
I don't blame you. And that feeling of when you travel to Las Vegas, Paris, Milan, London, anywhere in the world, and you switch on the wireless, and there is Bohemian Rhapsody or Killer Queen, a kind of magic, crazy little thing called love. Does that feeling of, oh, that's me on the wireless, ever fade away?
No, it's always a good feeling. I think that's what you dream of when you're starting off, that people will play your music. No, it's amazing. I never, ever take it for granted. Yeah, it's great to be in people's lives. And a lot of our songs have kind of gone beyond just being records or tracks on the radio. They're actually part of life. Like, you know, Rock You and Champions are part of people's lifetime experiences at sports or whatever, you know, and it's that's an amazing thing to sort of feel that you're sort of welded into people's lives in some ways. It's a great privilege.
And that riff that you do in Bohemian Rhapsody, how difficult is that on a scale of 1 to 10?
Do you know what? It's not that easy. It never gets that easy. Freddie, of course, always wrote in odd keys, so it would normally be B flat or F or something. Not the sort of keys you instantly want to play on your guitar. So I evolved ways of doing that to fit in with his piano playing. No, it isn't easy. And I do a lot of guest appearances in We'll Rock You these days, like if there's an opening or an anniversary or whatever, and I go on and I'm, you know, the guitar hero or whatever, which is a gift, you know, but I still have to be really careful about what I'm doing because I can slip off. And once you slip off, it's hard to slip back on again, you know.
Do you still think about him most days?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, Freddie's so much in our lives. It's incredible. In every aspect, really, and particularly in the musical, which Freddie would have loved, I'm sure.
Yes. Do you wonder what you'd be doing today if Freddie was still around, whether you'd still be making current hits or whether you'd be doing these tours every now and again?
I think life would have been a little bit similar to the way it is now, because we always came and went out of the mothership, as it were. You know, Queen was our great vehicle. But as time went on, we certainly sort of would go out and do other things and then come back. So I think it would still have been that way. I'm sure we still would have been making Queen albums, because it would always have been a possibility. And it was such a stimulating experience to work together and bounce ideas off each other. I do miss that, I have to say. But I have a great life. I have nothing to complain about. So many stimulations in my life.
And in terms of being starstruck, is it still a thrill when that pin focus hits you and you're there centre stage doing what you do best? Yeah,
it doesn't go away. Being on stage with a guitar making a big noise is not a bad job, I have to tell you. And that moment when you make contact with the audience is thrilling, and it still lifts you off the ground, really, yeah. And I think if that feeling went away, then you wouldn't do it anymore. But no, for me, there's always that kind of, kind of feeling in the stomach that happens just before you make contact. And it's amazing. There is nothing like it in the world.
And you've never gone out of fashion. Does that mean more to you than anything, the fact that people have loved you and still continue to love you?
Well, we've never been in fashion, in a sense, have we, I suppose? Maybe.
Do you really feel that?
Well, we've always been a little bit outside everything. I think we don't sort of follow trends, in a sense, and I never felt we were the thing of the moment. I don't know, maybe that's just a perception. I mean, but the fact that people love us is incredible. Yeah, it's something outrageous. And it's funny, you know, I don't really change the way I feel inside, and I walk into a room with people that I've never met before, and I always feel like I'm about 18 and kind of nervous and like, oh, nobody's going to know who I am and what do I say and stuff. And it's always a bit of a shock when people sort of look at me like, oh, you're some kind of icon or whatever it is. I can't really get used to that. It's funny how people relate sometimes. And I think the nice thing is when people treat us as normal people that they can just chat to. That's the most sort of comfortable thing. But it's great. You know, it's great if someone comes up and says, you've influenced my life, you've been the soundtrack to something great that happened in my life, and those moments are precious.
My final question has to be this, Brian, and Hairspray. I'm not talking about the musical. I'm talking about how you get out of the house in the morning. Are you keeping that industry going?
What do you think? You think I use Hairspray?
Well, how do you do it? I mean, it's a magnificent beast, that hair you've got.
Oh, no. I've hated it most of my life, actually. When I was a kid, I was really embarrassed about having curly hair because all the cool people had straight hair. So I used to try and straighten it when I was a kid, with disastrous results. No, it's just what it is, really, and it's changing. It's becoming a silver fox now, which is...
oh, no, okay. Don't tell me that. Don't let me down.
Soon I will be Harpo Marx or Albert Einstein, but that's fine too. No, I'm lucky to have hair at all, so I'm not grumbling, really, it doesn't make much odds to me. It's not something I sort of think about that much. It just does its thing,
Brian, thank you for being you, and thanks for coming on the programme this morning. I hope we can do this again. One of my greatest thrills in the world is being invited to those 5th anniversary, 2nd anniversary, 7th anniversaries that keep going on for We'll Rock You, and standing in the bar having a chat with you, because you are a true legend and an icon, and you've left us every day here at BBC Local Radio and the industry generally with great tunes that we're going to be playing long after you're dead. There's no greater compliment than that, is there?
That's a wonderful compliment. Bless you. Thanks very much, Alex. I really appreciate it.